Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I'm Kissy. I wanted to do a quick video in regards to a thin line between narcissism and having boundaries. And what I mean by that is that it's pretty, I guess, common knowledge at this point that narcissistic individuals seek to exploit and to establish connections only to see what they can get out of you, right? And so you'll have that's the mindset of a narcissist, is constantly thinking how they're going to get from you. So when you have someone that's recovered from narcissistic behavior, or that has survived narcissistic abuse in some ways, you'll find that the boundaries established and the rules created around, how to interact moving forward after that is a lot more vigilant, a lot more, it seems cold, right? When you would say, like, make sure that, that this person is reciprocating and that this person is giving love back and that it's a mutual connection. So you might express, as I do myself, like, have your boundaries. Why am I going to interact with somebody? When, like, I'm going to find out what is your intention to even talk to me. Like, what are you coming to my life for right now? Because it's sad that sometimes, like, the naivete of an individual that's never gone through it is to be very open and receiving and just accept people that come around and be like, oh, wow, hi, nice to meet you too. And yeah, let's talk, let's get to know each other. And, whatever, get to know each other. It's just a very open and very what's the word? There's no intention behind that other than to just meet someone new and interact with someone new. However, once you've experienced the abuse of narcissists and all of that, you put a question mark over everyone that just randomly wants to show up in your face. Like, who are you and why are you here? What do you want? And sometimes it might be too direct for a person that's innocently maybe just wanting to get to know you and are just attracted to you and be like, oh, hi, I saw you sitting there and I just wanted to say hello. That's, you're obviously not going to be rude and how do I put it? It's like I said, it's a very thin line between having boundaries and coming across as someone that is a narcissist. Because you can, let's say somebody very kind and open-hearted and genuinely wants to get to know you comes around and you're like antagonizing them. You're putting up a boundary right away. Who are you? And why are you here? And what do you want? And you start like treating them already like in attack mode because you assume that everybody's out to get you. That's a narcissistic trauma that narcissists live on before they're even traumatized, you see. A narcissist behaves that way. And I guess you could say it is justified because they say hurt people. So they had to have been hurt so early that it's just become part of their makeup, on the onset. Like, they couldn't get over it, and that's just how they operated off the jump. Like, as soon as their first interaction with a narcissist hurt their heart, they closed up and they never trusted again. Like, some people have, I guess, a larger threshold for pain, maybe, where some individuals can hurt us and we'll justify it, we'll forgive it, we'll understand that it may be a bad day, or we'll understand that it may be a situation that they were dealing with. So there's compassion, there's forgiving, there's grace that you give to people. But sometimes you give that grace, or you do that for so long, bypassing the bad behavior over and over again, to a point where one day it does hit and now you're hurt. Like that narcissist early on, it took you longer to get there. But the difference is there's a better balance, because you didn't just automatically go into fear and start becoming the abuser. You went into compassion mode. You went into, let me figure out why, and let me try to understand the situation. Let me try to heal the situation. Let me try to make it make sense. Let me try to make it balanced. Let me try to get this person to understand that I'm not the enemy. I'm here to love them. Oh, okay. You do that. And then eventually that gets tiresome. You start to realize, okay, or you just get better at discernment, where you stop investing that much effort in people that you can clearly see are still very hurt and are still very traumatized and are still in that reactive mode on automatic, and they don't have any intention of trying to hear or see anything outside of that. And that's where when you've truly healed, you're not triggered and you're not reacting based on the fear. You're as open as a child to engage because you're not in fear of what a person in trauma can do to you. Because a person in trauma cannot harm you when you're very well aware of how that person is. In other words, you can see, oh, this person is very traumatized, so you'll keep certain distances. Oh, this person has these kinds of expectations that are very unrealistic. Okay, let me make sure they're not confused about where I stand with them. Oh, this person is very extremely open and extremely innocent and extremely, giving. You limit them with love. You don't do it because you don't appreciate or anything, because you don't want them to ever assume or think that you're trying to take advantage. So you set the limits. You let them know, no, thank you. Oh, they want to offer you the world. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. But no, it's okay. You just don't take advantage. There are people that are so kind and generous that want to give you everything. And you have to be the adult to say, no, thank you. I appreciate it. Sometimes you may need certain things and you don't receive it, not because you don't value or appreciate it. You say no because you know the strings that come attached with that gift, not because a person's trying to manipulate you, not because a person's evil, but because a person, that's just their nature to assume, when I love you, I'm going to give you whatever I have. But if you don't love them that in that same way, you don't abuse that. So you just put your limits and you say no to that. Or you reject it gently without harming. It's just the way it is. So there is a difference. And you hear people saying, stay away from the narcissist, stay away from the... Yes, people that have already shown you that they're maliciously intent, that their intentions are malicious towards you, they're hurtful towards you, and you already know they're never going to change, and you also know that you have no responsibility to this person actually. They're an adult, they're not a child. Therefore, you can break free from that, and you have absolutely no reason to stay attached to that, for no reason. However, some people still have this lingering feeling of loyalty and I'm supposed to, and how others are going to think. If it's not that serious, like if it's a narcissist in your life that you don't have to live with, you know what I mean? That I can easily go into a function and an event knowing that there's people there that I don't really like, or that I know that have been very malicious in so many ways, or cruel in many ways, or unfair in many ways. And I could still walk in there and enjoy myself and not at all interact or feel limited or isolated or needing to be shunned out from engaging in an event just because they are there. That would be a fear-based reaction. Oh, I'm not going to go because these people are going to be there and I don't like them and I got to keep my distance from them because you never know, they're so manipulative. No, that's fear. You haven't conquered that narcissist. You haven't learned how to deal with them. When you overcame a narcissist in your life, they could never emotionally move you again. They could never again mentally mess with you. They could never again psychologically play games with you. It's just no way that they can do it. Because once you are aware, oh, this is what you are, that boundary is there. That boundary is up, and it's naturally expressed in a way that says, no, you cannot go further with me. You have to stay in this superficial level with me, because that's as far as I choose to keep you in my life. You cannot penetrate my thoughts. You cannot penetrate my heart. You cannot enter into my psyche, because you've already shown me, when I give you that access, what you would be doing to me, what you can do to me, what you are willing to allow yourself to do to me, if I let you and trust you into my space that way. So once I know that what you would do to me, that you would be in my space, knowing that your intentions for me are cruel, I could never again allow you into my freaking life. And it's not even, how do I put it? It doesn't necessarily mean that I could never communicate with you again, or that I could never see you again. No, it just means you're not going to get the same version of me at all. And it's I think they call it, what is it? Is it black rock? No, gray rock or some crap like that they call it, like when you're like so stone cold with these people, like, because you know how a narcissist, once you give them a little bit, they think they can take the whole hand. Some people, yes, you have to do that with, because the moment they get a little taste of you being kind to them or open to them, they will persist and insist let me not call them names. They will just do that. And they will, until they can get their grips into you again. So don't allow it. And sometimes the reason we kind of like bend or yield or allow is because we already know the reaction of the individual and what it's going to be like. So it's like, sometimes it's easier to say yes than no, to avoid the chaos in the moment that's going to come about from the no. So you might not be in the mood to go into a battle with someone, right? You might not have the energy for it. You might not be in the mood to deal with it. So you'll be like, no, not now, not today. Or no, I can't. Or whatever it is. You just say no to the narcissist. But this particular day, having these boundaries may mean going to fucking war with them. And you just don't have the energy or are not in the mood to go to war with them. So you might say, you know what? Do as you wish. Leave me out of it. And they don't understand, because the thing with the narcissist is nobody's stopping them from doing what they want. The thing is, it's what they want to do with you, or what they want to use you for, that they're not understanding. Excuse you. You can do whatever the hell you want. Do it on your own. You don't need me then. You don't need me to do what you want. Oh, but how am I going to this? And how am I going to that? And how am I? Well, then that right there should tell you that you're in no position to question or to even look at me the way you're looking at me, or to come at me the way you're coming at me with that attitude, or with that demand, or with that entitlement, or with that anger. Like, what are you angry about? You're angry that you can't do something for yourself? You're angry that you can't figure something out for yourself? You're angry that you can't make something happen for yourself? But you're mad at me because I'm not doing it for you? That's a problem. So if you have a person in your life that doesn't understand the boundaries of no, and sometimes you say yes just because you're like, you know what, fine. I'll do this one little thing for you, because you think it's going to pacify the situation, and you think that it's going to show this person reciprocity and positive behavior, right? And you're reinforcing a positive kind of, you're trying to mirror a positive behavior so that they can learn reciprocity. But instead, they take what you give them, and then they'll demand that you give them something more. And when you don't give them the something more, and then you say, but I just did this, or I just gave you this, or I just, whatever. Then they think it's okay to bitch and complain and argue and fight with you, and then be angry at you for not doing that second thing that you don't have to do, even after you did that first thing that you also didn't have to do, out of the kindness of your heart, out of the, let me just, if I can, why not, right? So then you do. And you give them a little bit of, here you go. But what you'll notice with the narcissist is that they'll never find satisfaction in what you do. They'll never appreciate what you do. They never value what you do. And they actually will shit on what you do and then have the audacity to ask you to do something else for them. And those are the kinds of people that you have to say, you're a piece of shit and you don't belong in my life and nowhere near it. Like, you could live very comfortably without this kind of individual in your reality. And that doesn't mean that you don't love them. It just means your character is shit. And because you have a shitty character, I choose not to interact with you. And it's just a freedom of will, free choice. I don't like you as a person, but I love you for who I believe you were in my life. I love you for who I thought I was in your life. I love you for the bond that made you be in my life. Whatever that is, that love could still be there, very true, for you. But you no longer are obligated to express it or show it or share it or give it to an individual that is empty and is a hollow being, like you're pouring into nothing. And I know, people say, well, nothing ever goes unnoticed by the universe. So whatever you give, you're going to receive back. Yes, but not through that person. And sometimes we invest in pouring into someone, hoping that one day that person's going to return the love or return the appreciation or return the, wow, thank you, I love you, I see you too, and I appreciate you too, and I gather that we are one and the same, like that epiphany moment. No, it doesn't happen with these types of people. Maybe it does, I don't know. I haven't seen it happen yet. I haven't had one narcissistic person ever come back and genuinely apologize, ever come back and genuinely say, because I had one person that was, I guess their guilt really consumed them. And like every year they would come around and they would like reminisce and bring up the past and then apologize and then say how like the regret was so real that, but even that person, all they're trying to do is to get you to possibly just open yourself up to them one more time. And the moment you do, they get their itch scratched and they go right back to who they always have been. So it's like no amount of apologizing, no amount of appreciative words and praise and love that they give you. Like, I guess that's what they call the, what is that phase? The love bomb phase, right? No amount of that means anything because it's not sincere. It's just ways to get you to open up to them. They don't want what happens once you're open to them. They just want to prove that you will open up to them. You see? It's like, yes, got them. And then they go right back to that shit. So I hope I made my point that I was trying to make. I know I always tend to go on a tangent, but be mindful. Don't assume. Don't let a narcissist in particular make you feel that because you put up boundaries and because you're saying no to them, that you're a narcissist. Because they will flip it on you. And also make sure that you're not responding in fear. Don't allow one bad seed to change how you interact in the world. Continue to interact openly. Give new people opportunity to show who they are. Don't judge a book by its cover, obviously. And don't misunderstand out of fear. Just be curious and ask the right questions. and then observe the response and the reactions and how the person responds and reacts. If someone just randomly shows up and starts, hey, how are you? I just wanted to get to know you. Okay, what are your interests? Like, what are you wanting to get to know me for? If it's romantic and you say, I like you, I would like to talk to you, I would maybe hopefully date you one day, or maybe, you know what I mean? If that's the case, then they're at least answering. But, well, what do you mean? Well, I don't know what you're talking about. Oh, da, 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 da. It's like, go to hell. Bye. Leave my fucking space. Because individuals can show up and say, oh, wow, you look like, or I see you doing this, or I see you doing that, and I'm already doing all these things. You would be a great fit for this thing I got going on over here. That's why I'm in your space right now. I'm in your space because I'm looking at what you got going on, and I would really love to have that where I'm doing this. You at least understand what the connection is for. I don't have a problem engaging with anybody. But what the hell are you coming in my inbox for if it isn't to request that I participate in something you have going on? Or because you're interested in me personally as a friend or as a potential partner? And me, all I'm trying to decipher is, what are your intentions? Because I know where I stand. And if your intentions are for romance and my intentions are not that with you, that I want to make it very clear that's not where I am with you. So if you'd rather interact with me in this way or in that way, that would be great, because in this way, I'm not doing that. And people cannot handle that kind of directness or that kind of truth. And a lot of people aren't willing to be that direct and honest and truthful. I'm not going to allow a man to pursue me that I know I'm not interested in. I'm not going to put him through that. I'm going to let him know right away, don't waste your time with me because I'm not interested in that. Am I doing that to be hurtful, harmful, cruel, mean, evil? No, I'm doing that so that he doesn't overinvest in someone that's not going to be able to invest in him the same way. But how many people, how many men has a woman said that to, that has reacted with, oh, you're a stuck-up bitch. Oh, fuck you. Oh, you're just a fat hoe anyway. Like, those are the actual responses from some of these pieces of shit human beings that don't understand how to deal with a simple no. Or someone kindly letting them know, nope, that's not what I'm here for. Thank you, but no thank you. Why, are your egos that weak and that small and that pathetic and that fragile that no can't be said directly and honestly and it's not like I can honestly tell someone, it's nothing to do with you. You are extremely attractive. I see how successful you are. Like, there's nothing wrong with you. But if my heart is elsewhere and I'm not interested in you, it has nothing to do with you as a person. It has everything to do with my integrity, not to allow you to get overly invested where it's not going to be reciprocated in the same way. That's called having integrity. That's called being honest. That's called keeping it real. So that's my message. I hope you appreciate it. Thank you. Have a good day.